Hello everyone, and thank you for joining today's session on ADHD and how, as educators, you can better support your students with ADHD using the EPIC strategy. This presentation is designed to provide you with an understanding of ADHD and offer practical strategies that you can implement in your classrooms. So let's get started. ADHD is a neurodevelopmental condition that affects a person's ability to focus, stay on task, and regulate behaviour. It is not a reflection of intelligence, but rather how the brain processes certain tasks and stimuli. In the classroom, ADHD manifests in various ways, from being easily distracted to having trouble sitting still or waiting for turns. It's important to remember that every student with ADHD will have a unique set of challenges and strengths. In the classroom, ADHD can manifest in ways that affect both the student and the teacher. Students with ADHD may struggle to keep track of assignments, find it hard to sit still, or interrupt others. These behaviours can make it challenging for them to succeed academically and socially. However, with the right interventions, these students can thrive. Now, how can we differentiate between ADHD symptoms and behaviours that might be considered bad or disruptive? On the left side of the chart, we see behaviours tied to ADHD. These symptoms are involuntary. They happen because the brain struggles to regulate attention, impulses, or activity levels. For example, a student may interrupt or struggle to focus even if they don't want to. On the right-hand side of the chart, we have poor behaviour, which is more voluntary. This refers to actions that are intentional, where a student is making a choice to defy the rules, disrupt others, or avoid tasks. These behaviours are within the student's control and are typically not linked to ADHD symptoms. What behaviours are understandable when it comes to ADHD? These include things like difficulty staying focused. This is especially true in environments where the tasks aren't engaging or are difficult for them to follow. Disorganisation. Students with ADHD may lose things frequently, forget assignments, or be unable to prioritise tasks, not because they want to, but because their brain struggles with organising thoughts and actions. And impulsivity. Acting without thinking, like blurting out answers or making rash decisions, can happen due to the impulsive nature of ADHD. It's not an act of disrespect, but a symptom of the condition. There are behaviours, however, that are not excusable by ADHD. Willful defiance. Even though students with ADHD may find it hard to comply with instructions, they can be taught to follow the rules. A student who is refusing to follow instructions may be doing so out of choice, not because of ADHD. Purposefully disruptive behaviour. Actions meant to disrupt the classroom or harm others are not linked to ADHD. These behaviours are intentional and should be addressed in the same way that we would handle any other student's behaviour. Disrespect or aggression. Consistently disrespectful behaviour or aggression towards peers or teachers is not an ADHD symptom. It's important to distinguish between a student's impulsive behaviours and those behaviours that are a choice to harm or defy. It's important to remember that ADHD does not excuse purposeful misbehaviour. The challenges students with ADHD face, like staying focused, organising tasks, or controlling impulses, are real, but that doesn't mean we should overlook intentional defiance or disrespect. We can support these students by providing structure, clear expectations, and understanding, while also holding them accountable for their actions. To support students with ADHD, I recommend using the EPIC strategy. The EPIC strategy is a comprehensive approach that helps teachers create an environment conducive to learning for students with ADHD. This strategy is broken down into 4 components, which we'll explore in detail during this session. Engaging students with ADHD is crucial. They often have difficulty maintaining attention during traditional lessons, so we need to make lessons dynamic and interactive. Consider using hands-on activities and don't be afraid to incorporate movement. Break down instructions into smaller steps and provide regular check-ins to ensure understanding. This helps keep the student on task and focused. Structure is essential for students with ADHD. A predictable routine helps reduce anxiety and improve focus. Create a visual schedule so students can anticipate upcoming tasks. Be consistent with classroom rules and expectations, and consider having a designated quiet space where students can focus on their work without distraction. Intervention is about responding to students' needs in real time. Positive behavioural support is crucial, so recognise good behaviour and reinforce it. For students who are struggling with self-regulation, Mindfulness techniques like deep breathing or offering breaks can be incredibly helpful. If necessary, modify tasks to make them more manageable and help students focus. Collaboration is key to supporting students with ADHD. Involve parents and caregivers in the process, as they often have valuable insights into what works at home. Collaborate with special education professionals and share strategies with colleagues to ensure consistency across all aspects of the student's education. These are some practical strategies you can implement immediately in your classroom. Visual cues like schedules or reminders can help students stay organised. Incorporating movement breaks helps students release excess energy. And of course, clear and concise instructions are a must. ADHD is a complex condition, but with the right strategies, students with ADHD can thrive academically and socially. The EPIC strategy offers a practical, structured approach to support students with ADHD in your classroom. By engaging students, providing structure, intervening when necessary, and collaborating with others, you can create a positive learning environment. Here are some references if you wish to explore this further. Thank you for listening. In our next session, we will explore supporting your child with ADHD at home using the EPIC toolkit.